Good evening, and welcome back to episode 2 in the ongoing series Psychonauts. I am Big Daz, and with me is Ed Post.
Oh, Wilbur. There's a clue.
Faster plane to plane. And we've actually got some feedback tonight.
We have a letter.
Who's it from?
Someone called Shirley.
Shirley? Hello, Shirley.
Dear people, I really like your show. The orbs were really scary. Could you do some more climate jokes? Signed, Shirley. Thank you, Shirley.
Okay. Thank you to our one and only viewer. We're very glad to have you on board. It's a little surprising that you found the orb so scary, but...
Could she be taking the piss?
I think she could be taking the piss. I really, really hope she is.
Keep Big Daz. Get rid of the other guy. He ain't funny. Did you do this?
I don't really think that's what you wrote, is it? Oh, shit. Sorry. It's EVP. It's my favourite because it's actually produced some results that I can believe in. And that's no rare thing. But we're not talking about my results so much tonight as some of a famous investigator that's been on television recently.
I'd use that term famous very carefully. There's a new series by a guy called Lawrence Lung, we've been told he's a comedian, but I don't know, it's like having a mathematician that can't do maths. You got to be funny. If you're not funny, I don't know how you can call yourself a comedian. But anyway, Lawrence Lung is actually a skeptical comedian, and he goes out investigating different things. Basically, he's taking the piss out of believers, and he's gone to a haunted castle in Scotland, and Lawrence has captured inadvertently a bit of EVP, and he looks quite surprised. So watch this clip, and we'll come back to it after that.
Are you fed up with me asking you these silly questions?
They thought they heard something, so we play it back.
Are you fed up with me asking you these silly questions?
There's a result and a half. How do you feel about that?
What was that?
Are you fed up with me asking you these silly questions?
According to the ghost hunters, the ghost said, "Get to fuck,"
All right.
which is Scottish apparently for piss off.
Right, it certainly sounds that way. Yeah, okay.
And then a scream.
Right.
Not me.
No.
The ghost.
The ghost, right. With EVP, what you've got is a lot of kind of random noise there. So these systems they use are designed to create noise. That's what they do. And then, as humans, we have ears and brains that are designed to listen to speech. That's what they do all of the time. So when they hear something random, they can often hear what they want to hear. What's interesting, of course, is they're both short statements. You don't get a long statement from the ghosts. It would be far more impressive if you asked that question and they sort of went into, reading a War and Peace or something, because then it would be just impossible to debunk that. As it is, just, get out isn't, you'd think there'd be a bit more...
So how did we decide he was... So we've established that he is a scientist.
Well, we think so. We think. Do you think he might have done a science degree, a psychology degree through science units? We have to check that out, though.
Yes.
If we do find out he's a scientist, I don't think we should admit it.
No, I think we should obscure the facts as far as we're able.
Well, at least we can say he's not actually scientific. There's a difference.
I think, yes.
But he is an expert in scientism. There's a sting in that tail. Not much of a sting, not much of a tail. But
Is scientism, is that in relation to Scientology?
it's close. Actually, I think Scientology is more scientific than scientism.
Anyway, so Wiseman, this wise man was the second scientist The second scientist that was going to be consulted, who do we believe the
audio guy.
scientist was? The audio guy.
Yep.
We believe
Newer scientist.
We believe the audio guy in the television crew was in fact the first scientist, and Wiseman was the another scientist that we were going to pass.
That's two scientists now that are looking at it.
Okay.
If you had 20, you can decide anything.
So what did you make of Mr. Wiseman's scientific analysis of the EVP?
Gobsmackingly funny. He's got to be fucking joking.
So you'd say that he's actually quite the comedian.
No, he is. He's subtly comedic.
So what was it that made it such a comedic effort?
Well, he didn't even talk about what was displayed in front of him. And I like the trick where he pretended he wanted more utterances to make it paranormal, but only a few utterances, like one word's not paranormal, two words not, but a string of 20, that's paranormal. Of course, he's got one trick in his bag if that happened. It's fraud! So he's covered both ways, so I like the game he plays.
It is a good game.
It is a great game.
It's fairly bulletproof, yes. Certainly was of the opinion, well, he stated very clearly that EVP is made on devices that are made to generate random sound.
Which is true in some cases.
It is. It's certainly true in some cases, and if you want to believe that those things are actually capturing EVP, then so be it. But this wasn't actually that case.
Did someone say straw man?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means, but I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
Talking about classic skeptics are actually philosophers, because philosophers they'll actually come out, they'll intellectualize stuff, but they won't actually do anything. When was the last time PSYCOP, the American Skeptics Association, did something? Let me think. It was 20 years ago. It was a rainy day when, I know when they did it. Dennis Rawlings.
Yes.
Garquillan doing the actual study on astrology.
Yes.
Anyone look up Star Baby with Dennis Rawlings? That was great. That's when the skeptics went down the drain. After that, they never did anything again. Rawlings warned them, don't try and replicate it, because if you get the same results as Garquillan did, as unbelievable as they were, with a statistical probability, blah, 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 you're stuffed.
Then you're actually admitting that there could be something there, and let's face it, skeptics don't want that.
No,
that's a bad look.
As a brief aside, I thought, because I can segue into anything from something.
Absolutely, particularly with a piece of paper in hand.
Well, there's a gentleman called Ian Cole. He was an American, and one of the boats on the tour boats the other day left him out of the Great Barrier Reef, and he got a little bit upset, but luckily there's another boat still there, and they dragged him on board. Now, Mr. Cole, quite rightly, was a little bit offended by being left out on the Great Barrier Reef, and he complained. And I like this response from the Great Barrier Reef representative. He goes, the fact that this guy talked about this shows that he's just seeking self-coverage and self-promotion and wants to be portrayed as a hero, a sort of survivor. But you've got to give him the credit. They gave him, get this, they refunded his ticket and gave him $200 gift voucher.
A gift voucher?
Yeah. So they insult the guy after nearly drowning him, sack the guy that actually didn't do the count, because it's pretty hard. 10 people jump in the water, 9 come out. Could there be skeptics doing the head count?
There could be, because it's a rational assumption that the same number are going to come out as go in. So
exactly.
You just run with that assumption, and basically that should be the truth.
You could do magic with numbers. Perhaps they should have some climate scientists doing the numbers. We know those guys can do some stuff with numbers. You know what they'd do? They would have run a model on how many people have got in the water.